Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new. As you could probably already tell from the description of this video, we're going to be talking about realizing our dreams in 2025. If you are able to join me live, I can take a succinctly asked question at the end of this video. Personal question that you want me to answer. Why is the description for this video not here? I don't know. Okay. We are going to be pulling our first card from my Tao Oracle. Am I still live? I think so. Okay. All right. What's that guiding energy for Scorpio? Predecessors. Be organized with things. Guiding energy for Scorpio. 2025. What is that focal energy for 2025 for Scorpio? I'm trying to keep the shuffling in frame, and it's obviously getting a little reckless. It's getting a little reckless. Okay. And we are going to be doing this reading using the elements to guide us. Butterfingers over here. Struggle moments. Okay. There you go. Treading. Self-awareness, proceeding with caution, acting responsibly, exhibiting correct behavior, sensitivity, self-awareness. Interesting. Okay. So I guess what I'm gathering from this is that for 2025, realizing your dreams means that you're proceeding with caution, you know, which is very you anyway. I don't feel like that's news, but we'll act like it is, I guess. Let's get some more energy from our elements. So we have air at the top, water to the right, earth below, and fire on the left. Fire energy is about the things that we are willing to act upon, that we're passionate about, that we're required to exhibit courage and bravery in order to go after whatever this thing is. Air is about our personal truth. Water energy is about connectivity, emotions, spirituality, relationships, that sort of thing. And that is within and without, so within ourselves and without ourselves, or outside of ourselves. And then earth energy is about pulling things down into the corporeal, our corporeal existence, or earthen constructs, if you will. Treading. That's interesting. Interesting opening. Let's see what we've got. Moon reverse for air. 8 of Cups reverse for water. Queen of Cups upright for earth. I love that. Feels good. And the Sun reverse for fire. Interesting. I feel like the focus for 2025 is going to be this Queen of Cups area, and particularly applying her energy to how you move in the world. And I feel like, with the whole treading and this idea of kind of proceeding with caution and being a little bit more observant than action oriented. Like we have the sun reversed here, so it feels like we're not maybe being overt about what we're doing, maybe a little bit more covert about what we're doing, and kind of feeling things out is what I'm getting. And with the Queen of Cups here, I feel like it's utilizing your intuition and your powers of discernment to move through next year. So 2025 is a number 9 year. It's a kind of a transition year. And so transitions, any kind of transitions, can be a little bumpy and weird and uncomfortable because we're learning new skills or we're in new environments, and we're kind of trying to feel our way around it, trying to understand how we fit into whatever this new construct is. And so sometimes there can be a lot of discomfort and a lot of just kind of awkwardness, if you will. And I feel like you're being called to really lean into your power, your watery powers. That would include your discernment. That would include, there's sort of like well, this particular, I mean, she's like super focused on that cup, but you're focused on what is happening around you. It's almost like a super sensitivity to the moods and kind of the movement and vibes of the spaces that you are going to be in. You're feeling them out. You're figuring out how they work and how they function so that you can understand how you can be successful in them, how you can exert your influence on them and build the relationships and the connections that are necessary in order to be successful in these places and spaces. I think one of maybe the more curious placements is the moon reverse in your air positions. The moon energy basically represents the kind of the hidden spaces inside of ourselves, the reflective spaces inside of ourselves. And sometimes darker energies live here, particularly if we don't acknowledge them, they start to fester and they can become something negative. But I feel like for you, because you are a water energy, the moon is your kind of guide. The moon is very important to all water signs, not just Cancer. And I feel like I just feel like, at least to self, there is something important about being truthful or honest, because air energy is about our truth and clarity of truth. Being truthful and honest about what's going on inside of ourselves. It feels very intense, which is very Scorpio. I do have a couple of Scorpio placements myself, so I understand the intensity. And I feel like Scorpio also kind of plays a little bit with the hot and the cold, like fire and water. Being a water sign that is ruled by a planet that is predominantly masculine, and is a very fiery and intense planet, right? Mars is intense. And so I feel like our energy is constantly playing all the time with that fire and that water, ice and hot, right? Like the opposites. And there is an intensity to that. But I feel like you're being called to like look at some of those spaces that maybe others would shy away from. I know as Scorpios, or as you're learning to develop your Scorpio energy, the darkness doesn't really bother us like it might other energies. And so I feel like it's okay to accept some of the darker or more kind of like it's like I see it in my mind, like some of those parts of ourselves that are a little bit darker, a little bit less kind of societally accepted, and folding those into our truth and figuring out how we can move forward with those truths about ourselves to create the most authentic part the most authentic part of ourselves, or the most authentic display of ourselves, how we show up in the world. And then we have Eight of Cups reversed in the water spaces. So the Eight of Cups upright basically represents like walking away from things that are not aligned, particularly when it comes to the kind of feeling of life, or kind of, it doesn't feel right, right? Things that don't feel right, even if they're perfectly lined up and they appear on the outside to be perfectly well functioning, for whatever reason they're not connecting, like we're not able to connect to them. And so I feel like this energy in the reverse, I feel like, particularly because it's in our water spaces, I feel like there's just a call to pay attention to the things that we don't feel connected to. I feel like in this case, so the Eight of Cups is about actually taking action, because you have the red here, and the red represents like fire energy, right? Taking action, taking action to actually do something about what doesn't feel right to you. But I feel like in the reverse, and in this particular situation, it feels like maybe we're not walking away from things that we should be walking away from. And I feel like 2025, again, we're about transitions, right? So if you're moving into a place and space that is new, that is different, there might be some energies that can't come with you, or that aren't supportive or not encouraging, or holding you back or keeping you small, or whatever the case may be. And maybe for whatever reason, we're resisting walking away from those things. And so I feel like that's kind of being called to attention. And like I know, because we are so emotionally loyal, that is one of Scorpio's like opportunities or benefits, and it's also challenges, right? Because the superpowers also can be issues for us. All the signs have them. And so it's really difficult for us to actually like walk away. Like once we do, it's done data dealy. It's done data dealia. But it's difficult sometimes to do that, to walk away from those things that don't feel right to us. And so I feel like that's being called into attention, that we need to pay attention to those things. And one of the guiding messages in the opening energy was about self-awareness. And it's not only about being aware of yourself, but it's about being willing to act on the information and knowledge that you understand about yourself, and being unapologetic about it. The outside world doesn't have to live with the consequences of your decisions. So making those so that they are aligned and truthful to you and they feel right on the inside is really what I feel like a key focal point for your reading is. Let's get some of these cards here. Any final thoughts for Scorpio today? Realizing their dreams in 2025. Final thoughts or messages? We got one. Any additional final thoughts or messages for Scorpio today? Heliconia. Realizing the answer is here. Take heed. I feel like that's the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups was the only upright card in your reading today. And I feel like she represents your energy. You applying your energy into your world. And it does feel like an application of your energy. So of that water energy, that spirituality, connectivity to self, to spirit, to the world around you, relationships, connection to self, which is kind of the primary, or I should say the roots of this energy. those topics, influence and things like that, like you're applying that knowledge into your world to shape your world. And I feel like the other energies are there to support that message. Um, I also feel like that the Scorpio that I'm talking to today, you're working through some things. You have a lot of reversed energy in your reading. And so I feel like you're working through some things, you're navigating through some things. But there does feel like, because we have the Queen of Cups here upright, it does feel like you have a stronger sense of self. And I feel like there's an encouragement to lean into the wisdom that you have nurtured and developed in yourself to help answer some of the other questions around you. Um, we have to allow ourselves to exist and to be heard and seen by ourselves outside of the constructs of the society that we live in. And I just feel it stop. Oh no. I have no idea. I think I lost the live stream at some point. And I don't know where I lost the live stream. I think I lost the live stream at some point. Okay. I'm just gonna summarize the reading because I don't know where the live stream kind of cut out. But I feel like your focus for 2025 is developing that Queen of Cups energy, leaning into yourself, leaning into your powers of your emotional strength and that intuitive knowing and understanding, developing your discernment. And if it's not already on point, then you can start developing these other avenues, finding your path and purpose and aligning with it, finding the things that you're passionate about that you really want to lean into in life, discerning relationships and connections that aren't aligned with your path and purpose. If you have not already developed yourself to the point where you feel confident and comfortable in utilizing your watery powers, then I would say that's what 2025 is about. It's about realizing your power. And, sometimes divine feminine energy, that would be our earth energy and our water energy, they're not given as much credit for, being powerful. But water, if you think about water in kind of a like an earthen context, water is extremely powerful and we need it to survive. Life would not exist without water. And so I feel like just realizing the power, coming into this power and understanding it and learning it, is going to be one of the critical steps to 2025 if you're not already there. And not only understanding water, but being able to apply it to your life first and then outside of yourself, and being able to influence your experiences and the world around you. So I feel like if you are a journaler, which I journal, I talk about journaling a lot on my channel because I feel like it is an incredibly powerful tool for guiding our spiritual journey. And I feel like journaling, like the Queen of Cups energy, lean into water energy. I would journal about water energy for the next year. I would lean into the Queen of Cups. I would do a ton of research on her and understand her and understand how to apply her energy to my own life and start to exercise that power in your own world and see that. And I developed this myself. I had to go through this journey. I have water in my sun, moon, and rising are all in the 3 water signs, right? I'm very watery, super watery. And understanding the power of water, understanding the power of knowing truth without having to prove it. Like you just feel it and you know it's real and you know it's true and you move with that knowledge. And I feel like it's used to shape your own life, to navigate through your own life. And nobody has to um, live with the decisions that you make. And so it's important to make the decisions that feel right to you, that are aligned with what you understand to be your truth. Um, and so I don't know, I just very passionate about this because I feel like the water signs, and maybe Scorpio's a little bit different, but I don't think so. I feel like Scorpio's like, we have a big heart and we love hard, and um, sometimes that can be taken advantage of in some cases. And I feel like somebody needs to hear that your empathy, your emotional strength is not a weakness, it's a power. And you just have to hone it and figure out, you know, when I need to use it and in what capacity, and how I need to utilize it in my life, and always keeping my own well-being at the top, at the forefront, always and forever, with the decisions that I make and how I'm using the power that I have. Yeah. So anyway, meandered off. Again, if you join me for the lives, for any of my cartography readings, I will take your questions at the end. I will monitor the chat for the next couple of minutes, but to take your questions, succinct, singular, and succinct questions. And I will pull some cards for you if you want to do that. You obviously don't have to. If you have specific questions with me for 2025, let me know down in the comment section if something resonated with you today. Click like on this video. And yeah, I don't see any questions. Again, thank you so much, beautiful Scorpios, for joining me today. I appreciate your energy and look forward to seeing you in an upcoming video. Be well.